Audrey plays it forward, tries to find Bayliss. Bayliss isn't that fast, and that is the end of the game. And it has finished here. Maidstone United 2, Gillingham 0. Hot take time, Sean. Let's talk about it.
Let's, Darren, because that was very enjoyable from a Maidstone point of view, and yeah, a very simple performance from Maidstone, very effective, very much used to doing what they do and getting down the channels, keeping the ball well. A lot of play around the back. We mentioned about it at Torquay at the weekend, how they did that, and it didn't do much, but for Maidstone, they're able to do that when they already find themselves a goal ahead, keep the pressure off for that 15 minutes between the two goals after winning the penalty. And then at 2-0, it seemed to be even easier than it was at 1-0 and 0-0, to be honest. There was only ever one winner tonight, and it was Maidstone, and they were a class apart. There's a few bright sparks for Gillingham. You know, McArthur looked quite good. Satole got in around with a bit of pace. We're still hot taking, but Chesham have just scored in the last minute of stoppage time, so that one is going to extra time potentially. I don't think we'll be staying on air for the rest of that match, at least anyway, and the club socials will bring you all the results on that and where we're heading in a couple of weeks' time. But back to tonight, you know, Gale, Skipper, Giles, they all put in some decent performances at the back as well. Skipper getting a few long shots in that didn't really amount to much. A strange sight to see the Maidstone players going towards the predominantly full town end relative to the Genco that is, of course, predominantly Gillingham tonight for the situation.
Entirely, actually.
Entirely, I should say. Yeah, predominantly was predominantly the wrong word, or entirely. So yeah, good to see the Maidstone players all coming together and charging up. Again, like Torquay, all together and going to give it the old Klopp and Dortmund and Kopp and whatever else. But again, win over your local rivals. Well, hey, well, why not give it some? Because yeah, it's another win. It's another win over Gillingham, who I don't think have got one over on us in quite some time from memory. Certainly in the last 3, including today, Senior Cup ties. You mentioned the one 21 years ago, or so 22. That was a goalless draw. There may well have been the odd defeat in there, but again, Gillingham, because of their higher ranking in the league echelons, they've only ever won this competition twice. Maidstone 18. There's been very few seasons where they've both been on a level par, so this sort of competition has always given Maidstone something to be more competitive towards as more of a bragging rights, because, you know, Gillingham way down on that list, and Maidstone, you know, the overall champions, most numerous, and they showed that again tonight, a side that is able to do that and seemingly able to play everybody that played at the weekend as well, whereas Gillingham, you know, as I said earlier, only 2 of them that have mentioned that of being in the squad for the Walsall defeat at the weekend, and I don't think Keith Millen would have seen too much from tonight to encourage any of those youth squad players to potentially be in amongst the fringes. I mean, clearly Orgy's got a bit about him, he's done well. Chambers, I've got to admit, in that midfield against, you know, Corn and Bone and Iandolo, and then Court when he came on as well, didn't really show much, unfortunately. I mean, he's, because again, it's interesting, you know, you're in a Football League 16, go all the way to the Midlands, get hammering, and then you're put into a situation like this. I mean, he's on a hiding to nothing in the first place, and now he's in another hiding to nothing when it comes to playing in a match-up like this as well. So it's really quite unfortunate for him, because I'm sure there's been other signs in other games why Millen and the rest of the coaching staff would have put someone like him into the squad. Yeah, a bit disappointed in a couple of the players. I know Garrett didn't have the best of halves, and potentially whether he's pulled purely because of that shot that McArthur put him in with. Sometimes in football it's literally one moment, you get that one chance, and if you fluff your lines, that's your night done. Just hearing the noise behind us in around the car park area and up out on Watman Way, clearly hearing mild animosity, I would put it down to. But yeah, from a Gillingham perspective, mild disappointment because again it's a youthful side. Maidstone do train together a lot more, play together a lot more, and I mean the run that they're on at the moment, that's the 6th clean sheet in 7 wins on the spin in all competitions. It's just breeding and breeding and breeding all of that confidence.
Winning is a habit.
It's a very
not,
good habit.
not only do you have to know how to play well, you need to know how to win. And this side knows how to win.